Hi all. This first part is just a shout out to Mark Batson and Pete at, Pete, I can't remember your first part of your address, from jolly old England. They had tutorials on how to make radiators. They both were the same about, that I could tell. Matt Basterson at Hobby Dude 007. I've been used. Both guys' tips are excellent. Got to go see it if you want to give this a try. I did find a way how to get my air cleaner, so I could pull it off and on and it would stay. It involves a magnet, but that lower plate I made out of plastic, I have to make out of steel, something magnetic. A can lid, how about that? Anyway, it's in the next video, which is coming up very, very shortly, like really soon. So because I didn't get some in my last time, so anyway, here I'm adding dust rather liberally, so it comes off a little at a time depending on how wet you got your brush, so you can remove it. You can remove it down to nothing if you don't like it at all. All you're trying to do is add depth and well, that's what you're trying to do, is add depth and make it look like real. If you watch my video on why I do stuff, you'll figure out why. It doesn't mean I'm right, just means I like doing it. Anyway, I'm giving it a pretty healthy dose of dirt. And right there I'm using a very wet solution just for streak down, like for rain or water swirling up and under the engine, road dirt, you know. Now I'm just taking a clean brush, dipped in water, and I'm smoothing out the edges of my ink I put in there, because it had a hard line. If it was flat, it would have spread out. As you can see, as I'm doing right now off camera, I'm doing one of the wheel wells, and I didn't realize I was off camera until now. Maybe I should preview my videos, huh? Anyway, you see I gave it a healthy dose. It's the same idea, and then you just go back and hit it again. That's what I must have realized it. Hey, I'm getting old. I don't remember stuff. That's why my name's in my underwear, so I get the right one. My name's Fruit of the Loom. I didn't know that. Anyway, radiator, those stiffening of the header tanks, those dimples in there is for stiffening and for pressure, because they hold 15 pounds of pressure, and it's only brass, you know, you don't want it flexing to where it breaks. Anyway, they hold a lot of dirt, but I go back through, I soften everything up again. Got to do the front side of it too, you know. I'm drinking a Diet Coke while I'm talking to you. Here's more of a watery mix. I still had to go back through the whole thing. I had a hard time getting the radiator in that on the car where it's the instructions say to stay. The instruction looks like it's vertical, but every time I put it in, it wants to go at a slight angle. I don't know. See if it fits. It just, no matter what I do, it's like I don't want to modify it and find out it is at an angle and their instructions are just wrote crappy. I don't know. I had the same trouble with the steering box that mounts to the frame. Can't get it to go anywhere. Doesn't want to stay. Literally, it just doesn't want to fit there. You put it where it fits, and nothing else fits. So I got something goofy here. I'm cutting out 427 decal for the air cleaner lid. They had this on there. They give you 2 of them. Wonder why. It shows putting 2 on, but what I seen of the original ones, they had only 1, and it faced forward, or you wanted to face it forward. Hey, it's a lid. You can turn any way you want it. That is some microsol. My son has my good stuff, stuff that will dissolve a Soviet bloc decal from the 60s. It will make it lay down without bubbles. So some of this stuff is just a little too strong. But anyway, he never gave it back. Anyway, I'm putting it down. We're always told to take a piece of foam rubber and blot it down on aircraft or tanks to make it conform, especially on Zummerit. And then the microsol or Solvaset would suck it into the panel line, Zummerit or whatever, and it did work. I had to go back later and roll that edge down on the decal. Here I'm taking water and I'm just kind of like washing it off. I knew it'd be thick. You want to put it on thick first and just keep working back and let it dry. It's a time consuming, like maybe 15-minute process. Actually, it's about, as humid as it was last week, it was easily a long time. By the time it dried, you didn't even feel like going back there again. It's 106, 102 Fahrenheit. Of course, it was Celsius. You guys would be burned up. We had 116 in spots. Humidity was 80%. I don't know how the people can stand it in Florida when it gets like that. We have a couple of, we have a couple of air conditioners. We could only get the house down to 80, and I was pulling 15 gallons of water out of the 2 portables that you can roll around. You had to watch it like a hawk. Anyway, I'm working on the tie rod ends and the sway bar. Sway bar is what my dad always called it, but I know it's called something different now. Got to change the knife blade. I am thinning out, but not as thin as they should be, the ones that go from up the body, or from the sway bar to the lower A-arms. And they are actually a rolled tube of steel, then galvanized for rust, and there's a bolt that goes through them. Anyway, what I'm doing here, and I'll put a witness mark there. There it is. I don't need a big one. I'm making small bolt heads. And yes, they're hexed. Not greatly, but they're hexed. You just scrape it off. That's very thin, and you're making it thinner yet. There, I put a little tip on the end. See? Can't you see it? Yeah, Pete, I have the same trouble. There, you can see a little bit of it. Couldn't get it to... What I did is, then I go back, oh, I missed a corner. I'm trying to see which one's the proper thickness to put in the sway bars, the bolts that hold it onto the frame. These things are nice because once you give them a twist, they'll stand on their own, so you can rewind your hand. I've seen somebody had a tool for that. Anybody know where you can get one? That can hold them bits. That'd be nice. Anyway, I am Now, drilling out the 2 extra arms, because they must use that same arm for different vehicles, there's 3 holes for different lengths of tie rod ends. And so, I don't know. Why would they do that? Other than it's mass produced somehow. Anyway, I remember seeing on some of my cars, or even my truck, had a few extra. My 85 Chevrolet. Not my new one. Or newer. This century. Not the last. Anyway. Thank God I made him long, and I shoved it through the other side, and I just hit him with some Mr. Because I mounted this thing upside down. I'm like, why didn't this work? And then I realized I had it upside down. In the upside down part, I never did anything with, because they have these knockouts, or what do they call that, for knocking pins to remove it from the mold on both sides. I thought one's to hold it to the wheel, or to the A-frame, and the other one is just to look ugly. Anyway, thank God it fell off, because I'm correcting that ugly mess. It was terrible. They're like a U-clamp. But anyway, I got another video about the rest of this here. Probably post tonight, maybe tomorrow. And that way I'll be up to date. A lot of little stuff. Just keep doing it. Just keep making stuff and not getting nothing on, because you got to wait for something to dry, or you can't put it on yet because you got to do this yet, because I had to get the battery in to run the battery cables to the motor. I don't want to put the motor in because I don't got the linkages yet. Is that enough? Linkages for the carburetor, for the put my air cleaner thing on with the hose going on the intake manifold, or an intake going down to the darn it, you can see it in my head, ain't helping me, going down to the valve cover, because PCV, they were positive crankcase. Anyway, just a ton of stuff to do. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.